president of the Northeast Florida CAI chapter. Today, we're interviewing Joshua Donlin with Balgenic for this episode of Inside the Sponsor Studio. So thank you, Josh, for joining us today.
Happy to be here. Let's get this going.
Yeah, so tell me how long Balgenic has been around. How long have you guys been in business?
So we are coming up on 10 years here next year. So we officially opened up our office in January of 2014. And so we're coming up on that 10-year mark here in Florida. We originally started out in Portland about 40 years ago, and we've moved some operations over to the Florida side of things. And so have a long history throughout this firm, but Florida specifically, we're creeping up on 10 years.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about what you do for the firm and some of the services that Balgenic provides.
Absolutely. So I sit on the marketing team here. We have a wonderful team split up between Orlando, Sarasota, and Miami. And part of our job, because we are a law firm, we help assist the attorneys in setting up meetings and educating boards. And so we do a lot of education courses within management companies, and we go out and attend events to network and get to know the individuals in this industry, the community managers, the board members, the administrative teams on the management companies. And so our marketing team really pushes forward. We drive, the education piece, and we keep things moving in order to get our name, our brand out there and explain what we do specifically. And we are, as I had said, a law firm that is specializing in construction defects and insurance property claims. So very specific and not general counsel. We don't handle the day-to-day operations as far as that goes, but we have a lot on our shoulders with everything that's gone on in the past couple of years. And so we just drive that force going forward.
Awesome. So can you tell me what you enjoy about working for Balgenic and your job, your position there?
Absolutely. I have come from the industry before. I worked on the collection side of things. And so I have really kind of folded into the family lifestyle of community management. It's a Wild West industry, lots of ebbs and flows in this great industry. And so what I love about it is just the people that are in it. This is a thankless job, and they work so hard to do what they do. And coming from an area originally that doesn't really focus on HOAs, coming to Florida and learning how these communities work and what it takes to, ensure safety and making sure that the community is running like a well-oiled machine. It is a huge undertaking. And so these individuals take on so much on their plate, and knowing that we can help them in the long run when they need us and being there for them, it just brings such joy and fulfillment. And that really drives my passion for doing what I do. These people are great. I love working with them. And at the end of the day, we're talking about home ownership. This is a huge part of life and skills. And, these individuals work very hard, and they love their communities, and they want to, be prideful of what they have. And so it's definitely a market where it brings a lot of joy at the end of the day to be able to say we helped a community out, or helped that manager out, or that board. And really, it drives that factor into why I do what I do.
Awesome. And so how did you hear about CAI? I know Balgenic has been a member of CAI and is a member of various chapters across the state. So how did you hear about CAI, and why did you folks join?
Yeah, I think CAI is crucial. Without CAI, you are kind of in the weeds, not knowing what's going on. It's so important to be involved for advocacy alone. That is a huge piece of what we do. And so CAI definitely gives us the leverage to not only know what's going on in our specific industry as far as legal, but knowing what's going on with landscapers and gates. And so it's really a power of knowledge when you join CAI. I think it's the most beneficial thing any vendor or association community could possibly do. It's very important, and it's so fun at the end of the day that, you know, again, there's so much that goes on in their day-to-day operations, including vendors and managers, but being able to get out there and just kind of have an enjoying evening out networking and getting to see people from other industries and other management companies. You know, everybody plays along nice, and getting to hear different stories of what's working for you right now, what's not working for you, and you know, understanding how important it is just to kind of uplift one another. And I think CAI does a really positive job in doing that. And so those events are enjoyable. It's not, I don't really look at it as another work event, or it's just enjoyable to be around the company of people that have the similar interests, can, you know, dialogue, and CAI drives that home. Every event, every, you know, meeting, and now getting more involved with sponsorships and becoming board members and things like that. It's crucial to understand how this whole organization works. It's a national organization. They're global, even, you know, there's HOAs and countries that I never thought would have an HOA. And so they just do so much. And Jacksonville specifically is such a great CAI chapter because it's such a broad spectrum of, you have Jacksonville, you have Palm Coast, you have various areas that bring so much diversity to that chapter. And so it's exciting every time we do something. I think it's great. And it's an honor to be a part of this chapter.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I ditto everything that you said. I've been part of this chapter for, 15 years. I believe it's going on 15 years now. And yeah, it's just a fun chapter.
We have a great president as well, so that also helps.
Yes, everyone does seem to play. Everyone plays nicely in the sandbox together. So that definitely helps. So my last question for you, Josh, what are your goals, personal goals and professional goals for your firm and within CAI?
Personally, I would love to just get to know everybody. I am a big people person, and I think it's always interesting to find out what makes people tick and how they do their job, because I can learn so much about, having a stressful day. How can I manage that a little better? And this industry is high stress. It's fast paced. It never stops ever. I mean, there's managers that work 24/7, 365, and so personally, I'd love to get that wealth of information on how people operate. I think that's a very crucial thing to understand and grow. And for our firm, with the Surfside collapse and the new repos bill that's passed, there's so many things that are going on right now that are linked to construction defect, and that are altering the course of communities and new builds and developer controlled areas that are so crucial for education piece. We went from 10 years to 7 years on that state statute repos. And so we just wiped out 30% of time that HOAs are probably not even fully aware of how crucial that is. And so using CAI, to come together as a partnership and explain just how critical it is that if you're working with a new build, you have a time crunch. And so that education piece has got to be at the forefront of you talking to your boards, and we're here to help. We have a great team, a great support staff that is willing to dive into that. And so it's a major issue. It's not only just in Florida, it's a national issue, but in Florida, we're seeing big changes in regards to that. And so with CAI's help, I think we're going to be able to continue to move forward and just really educate on how important this factor is.
Absolutely. All super important. Well, that does it for us today, Josh. Thank you for being with us today on this episode of Inside the Sponsor Studio. Thank you, Josh, for your time today. And a huge thank you to Baljanik for your continued support and sponsorship to our chapter.
We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it, Leslie.
Thanks, Josh.
All right.